25 destinations you should travel to before they become too expensive. International tourism is on the rise. Close to 1 billion tourists traveled internationally in the first 9 months of 2016, according to the World Tourism Organization. And as global travel increased, popular demand for many destination spots also grew. Although this might be great news for the tourism industry, it isn't necessarily good news for travelers. Higher demand to visit certain destinations could be a sign of higher prices are coming in the near future. With help from Booking.com, which came up with a list of up-and-coming destinations based on year-over-year changes in bookings, GoodBankingRates.com assembled a list of some of the best destinations to visit before they get too popular and too expensive. Here are 25 of those destinations with strong year-over-year.
1. Shanghai. See some of the most amazing architecture in the world firsthand in Shanghai, one of the top 3 cities that experienced the most year-over-year growth in bookings, according to Booking.com. Perhaps consider visiting in the winter. The prices in December and January are cheaper than visiting in June, found Booking.com.
2. Dublin. Dublin is an increasingly popular destination for tourists. And looking at January, June and December data, Booking.com found that June is the most expensive month to travel to this Irish city. On the flip side, traveling during January and December is 32% and 23% cheaper, respectively. One of the best parts of Dublin is that you can cover a lot of ground in little time. According to the Savvy Backpacker, you can see the best sights in about 2 to 3 days. One sight you have to see, the city's sleek and modern Samuel Beckett Bridge. 3. Edinburgh, Scotland. Another up-and-coming destination, Edinburgh costs about $100 a day to visit on average, according to BudgetYourTrip.com. This calculation includes accommodation, food, entertainment and other costs. There are many great sights to check out in Edinburgh before the destination gets too expensive, such as the Edinburgh Castle, one of the most iconic landmarks. 4. Kyoto, Japan. Kyoto is also rising in popularity. If you've always wanted to visit, perhaps consider a summer trip to the city. June is 16% cheaper than December, according to Booking.com. Keep a lookout for any of the best travel deals you might stumble upon. When you're there, stop by the Toji Temple, which houses carvings, statues, paintings and more.
5. Lisbon, Portugal. Like Edinburgh, Lisbon is seeing some of the greatest year-over-year growth in bookings, so prices might be rising soon. When you're there, check out the medieval-like alleys in the charming Alfama district.
6. Seville, Spain. Seville is one of 2 Spanish cities on our list of places you need to visit before they get too expensive. The city offers beautiful sights, such as the romantic Plaza de España that has a semicircular water canal. Just remember, when traveling here or anywhere abroad, for that matter, research popular tourist scams to protect your money. 7. Singapore. Singapore is just one of the many Asian destinations experiencing strong tourism growth year over year, according to Booking.com. However, rising demand could push travel costs higher and Singapore is already pretty expensive. According to Expertistan's Cost of Living Index, Singapore has the 3rd highest cost of living in Asia, behind only Hong Kong and Tokyo. And according to Budget Your Trip, the daily average budget is about $97. So, budget accordingly to visit everything Singapore has to offer, including the Art Science Museum at Marina Bay Sands. 8. Stockholm. Considering how cold Sweden can get, it's not too surprising that visiting Stockholm in January is 26% less expensive than visiting in June. But this up-and-coming destination has an average daily budget of about $150, so you might want to save a little extra money before you book a vacation here.
9. Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Out of all the 50 cities on Booking.com's list, this city ranked in the 10. Kuala Lumpur is Malaysia's capital and home to the iconic Petronas Towers. This twin structure offers tours and awe-inspiring views of the city.
10. Copenhagen, Denmark. Copenhagen has increasingly become a popular travel destination. But if you have trouble with the cold, you might miss out on the cheapest times to visit Copenhagen January, which had nearly 40% cheaper than traveling in June. If you do decide to splurge on a summer trip to the city, visit beautiful Nyhavn. Have dinner at one of the colorful houses that have been converted to fancy restaurants, and listen to jazz music as you gaze at the canal.
11. Bangkok. Thailand is known for being one of the most affordable countries to visit in the world. So although Bangkok is an up-and-coming destination, it remains cheap compared to other global destinations. Still, take advantage of its affordability while you can, and experience some of the must-see attractions including the famous Wat Phra Kutt, the Temple of the Emerald Buddha.
12. Milan. Milan offers visitors unforgettable sights, ranging from the Gothic Duomo to the ultra-high fashion and shopping district Quadrilatero d'Oro. Torn between traveling in June, December or January? Out of the three, it's more expensive to visit in June, according to Booking.com.
13. Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Booking.com found Ho Chi Minh City experienced the highest year-over-year growth in bookings. A beautiful, exotic locale, this Vietnamese city boasts the Ba Long Pagoda, a breathtaking and calming temple.
14. Athens, Greece. Bookings in Athens have been rising throughout the year, and even exceeded demand for trips to Paris, according to Booking.com's data. With demand going up, perhaps avoid booking a trip for June and aim for January instead. The cost is 31% cheaper.
15. Taipei, Taiwan. Demand for traveling to Taipei is on the rise. It's the number 4 up-and-coming destination on Booking.com's list. With demand going up, prices potentially will as well. To avoid paying more for travel, opt for June when it's 15% cheaper than January. When you arrive in Taipei, visit the Taipei 101, one of the world's tallest buildings, according to Travel and Leisure. In the tower, you can shop, dine and check out the observatory.
16. Hamburg, Germany. Home to the largest port in Germany, Hamburg's year-over-year bookings have increased more in London's or Venice's, according to Booking.com. When there, visit the St. Michaelis Church, the famous fish market or see the Elbe River.
17. Vienna. This Austrian city has experienced more year-over-year growth than cities like Madrid and Florence, according to Booking.com. If you're trying to save on travel, avoid booking a trip for December and perhaps aim for January. Booking.com's data showed January is 14% than December. When you're there, make time to see St. Stephen's Cathedral, one of Vienna's most symbolic sites. 18.
Chiang Mai, Thailand. Chiang Mai is another city in Thailand benefiting from strong year-over-year increases in bookings. The growth in Chiang Mai's popularity has caused some parts of the city to become saturated with tourists, according to Budget Your Travel. But while you're there, explore the ancient temples, check out the elephants, and don't miss the Sunday markets.
19. Manama, Bahrain. Manama offers a more affordable alternative to other popular but more expensive destinations. And, it's experiencing more year-over-year growth in bookings than Dubai, according to Booking.com. The city hosts some extravagant architecture.
20. Barcelona, Spain. Barcelona is known for its rich culture and colorful architecture, like the stunning Parc Güell. But, the city seems to be becoming a popular tourist destination, and there is a significant difference in price depending on when you decide to go. For instance, traveling in January is more than 30% cheaper than June. To get the best deals to these destinations, book your trip at the right time.
21. Amsterdam. Tourism has been growing over the last couple of years in the Amsterdam metropolitan area, according to a 2016 report by Research, Information and Statistics, OIS. The city offers plenty of fun activities. But simply exploring the Amsterdam's traditional buildings and famed canals will satisfy any explorer.
22. Warsaw, Poland. Another up-and-coming travel destination, Warsaw is an old, traditional cultural center of Eastern Europe, and the Old Town is a great historical site. But know that a summer trip might be more expensive. January and December are 28% and 15% less expensive, respectively.
23. Prague. Like its Polish neighbor, Prague is one of the top 25 up-and-coming destinations based on Booking.com's data. So if you want to drink the city's famed beer or see the picturesque river, consider booking a trip before demand drives up prices.
24. Budapest, Hungary. Budapest is getting hotter as a tourist destination. June is a more expensive month in terms of travel costs, but January and December prices are 10% cheaper. When you visit, take in the full beauty of the Danube River. You can even go on one of Budapest's river cruises.
25. Moscow. Moscow might be far, but it offers incomparable sights and a fascinating cultural heritage. Moscow ranks on the lower end of Booking.com's list, but it's considered an up-and-coming destination. Take advantage of the affordable prices while you can. According to Budget Your Trip, the average daily travel cost in Moscow is just under $70, which includes expenses such as food, entertainment, accommodation among others. Compared to other European destinations such as Vienna, which has an average daily travel cost of about $120, Moscow isn't as bad on your budget. Methodology: GeoBankingRates.com used travel data supplied by Booking.com, which compiled 50 international tourist destinations experiencing the largest year-over-year increases in bookings. Booking.com looked at the year-over-year change in bookings, based on a minimum standard number of bookings in order to be statistically significant. GeoBankingRates selected 25 cities out of the 50 to spotlight in this article.